Welcome back. All right, it's Veterans Day weekend. It's also the Marine Corps birthday tomorrow, so on Sunday. So I wanted to wish all of my brothers and sisters in the Corps a happy birthday. 249 years. It's a long time. I went to the ball, or not, we're going to the ball next week. I went to the Oklahoma City Coordinating Council of the Marine Corps luncheon last week and took my friend Howard McInnes, and he invited his friend from Indiana, Speed, really nice guy. They served in Vietnam together. Both of them served at Mutter's Ridge. Speed served at Dong Hao, and Howard was at Khe Sanh Village and then Khe Sanh during the Tet Offensive. So a couple of real serious badasses there, and a shout out to them both. Howard's in the hospital right now with some complications. He's working out. Hopefully he's doing well this week. I haven't been able to check on him yet, but shout out to Howard. And it's been a fun week. Anyway, we had a good time. We took Howard to the luncheon, and we hung out, and it was a really good time for everyone. And it's a blessing to be able to do that and be able to take Howard out of his house. He doesn't get out much, and it was really entertaining. It was fun. All right, so on to this week's drama of the absurd. All right, here we are. All right, the absurd part of this is how hard it is to get electricity to flow through the Range Rover and get it to go where it's supposed to go without coming up missing, I think is a good way to put it. We have the parasitic draws that we've been dealing with for so long. Still have the parasitic draw, we just haven't sorted it out yet. Because one, we had a dead battery, which you saw last week. So we've got the dead battery situation sorted out. We have a new battery, woohoo! Boo-doo-doo. Yeah. All right, so got a new battery, and so with the new battery comes new connections because one, the bloody thing is hard to get connected. Let's talk about what's gone wrong there. So, all right, getting the camera angle set up. All right, so my good friend Frank helped me set up these connectors last time when we were dealing with the electrical problems and installing the fan. So they've been on the truck a long time. This one failed, unfortunately, and it's a fancy, needs a hydraulic press to do it, and I'm sure Frank would run down here and help me if I asked, but he is a busy man as I am, and I can deal with this one pretty much on my own, I think. It's just I need some more tools kind of thing. Anyway, so this one came off. So basically we've got, let's see if we can get that in the shot. Hold on here. All right. Basically, we've got 3 ground wires coming into this from various places. And they were all in here. And when I was in the midst of cleaning all this up and doing it, I was trying to sort out getting the battery connected and had trouble. And then poof, that came off the end of my, that's bad. So that's not usable anymore. The problem also was that the anode, the node here on the battery had worn down so much that I had to press this all the way to closed, and I couldn't get it to grab the post any longer. So in the short term, I ran down and grabbed one of these from the hardware, or from the O'Reilly's. They're trash. I've never seen one that was worth the money I spent on it. This one's fancy and pretty, and it's still terrible. What it doesn't do very well is hold. So I've got this, you can see how close this is here. And when you crank it down to close it on top of the post, it just doesn't have enough oomph, enough grip. So I did some research in the midst of changing my oil for the F-150. I saw that the F-150 uses a different type of connector. So I bought one of these. Ta-da! For the F-150. These work amazingly well. It has a post to screw stuff onto. There's various versions of this. They have some that have clamps, crimps, or whatever down here where you can roll it over and grab the cable and stuff. I went with this one. I like it. So we're gonna go with this one. So we wanted to check it out. So let's put it on the post and check it out. So it goes on very nicely. And I'm gonna probably mount it in this orientation here. Let's see if I make sure I got a good shot here. All right, I'm gonna mount it here, and then I'm going to, with this, you screw this post down and it grabs this and pushes it together. So let's give it a couple of turns here. That was tight. I think I can get 2 more out of it. Oh yeah, yes! That holds quite well. If I put a couple more cranks on that, I think it would go amazingly well. All right, terminal post problem 1 solved. We'll go with the Ford and it will help us out. See how it clamps, grabs, there's a lot of grip, a lot of room to move. I like that. All right, we're good. Second problem, I need to crimp on some connectors to this. Gosh, I hope my hardware store has these. All right, so that's what the next step is. I'm gonna run to the hardware store. I'm gonna run to the hardware store and see if I can get those sorted out. So we'll see if that happens, and I'm hoping I can find stuff that will work and that will not be too bad and not look terrible. So, all right, that's next. Let's get started. Okay, I'm back. Let me show you what I got from Ace Hardware. I don't think you're gonna be surprised. Nothing. I got nothing from there because they don't have what I want. I'm gonna need industrial connectors. I'm not putting some kind of crappy crimp-on thing here. This is gonna be pressure crimped, high dollar stuff when I get done. So one, I either have to pull all of these cables off. 1, 2 are right here. The third one is, I'd have to find it, but I could probably get them off and get new ends crimped on them by taking them up to Jones and have my buddy Frank take care of it for me, the evil German dude. That's an easy solution and I could get that done. Will it stop me from doing what I'm doing today? No, not really. Because I can take this and, I can take this and I can put my connector on it and still do my test. So that's probably what we're gonna do. So that's what we're gonna do right now. So we'll get that done. All right, let's pause again and let me get my stuff set up. Okay, first things first. All right, there's 100 videos on the internet, all right, at least 5, and I've watched all 5 of them. Eric, the car guy, had a pretty good one. I liked his. There's a couple of others, but you can look him up. And it wasn't Eric, this Eric, it's a different Eric. Not the Eric that is in front of you now. Okay, so first thing you need is a voltmeter. Dun, 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 that's a nice one, with an amp function. And then you're gonna move your, typically you have your red in this plug over here. So you're gonna move it over here and then you're gonna set your meter up to the amp side over here. Every actual car guy is gonna say you need a 20 amp meter, ideally. I guess there's something on this truck that could pull 20 amps. I'm not gonna start it to find out. So 10 is gonna have to be good enough because you know why? I only have a 10. So I set this up to 10. The next thing is you're putting the battery, you're putting the voltmeter in series with the battery in the circuit. All right, what does that mean? Okay, welcome to class. Yes, I did take an electronics class when I was in high school, and thought I would someday be a cryptologics repairman in the United States Marine Corps. That didn't actually happen because I decided to go to college instead. And I wound up becoming an artilleryman in the Marine Corps Reserve. So, series. Just as the word intends, it is a series from one point to another point. Okay? So we're going to put the battery, which we symbol as this. Oh, no, that's all wrong. Started out wrong. We're already wrong. Doing this wrong. A battery is symboled like this on an electronic chart. Okay? With this being positive and this being negative over here. Okay? All right, so we're putting it in series. So this positive goes out to the circuit of the truck. And the negative is over here. It's another pole on the battery. And then we have our voltmeter. And so it's going to have meter. That's an old-fashioned meter because it's got the needle on it. All right, so we've got the amp marker here, and then the negative over here. And then we're going to put it in series. So we need to connect the negative post of the battery to one of the posts of the meter and the other post down to the ground. Okay, so all of the vehicle ground. That's basically in series. So we start from the vehicle over to here to ground. So everything in the vehicle is grounded. Okay, so we're measuring between those two. All right, that's the whole thing. It's as complicated as it gets. I didn't say I was an electronics teacher. I just said I went to an electronics class. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get this battery set up in series. All right, so I need a connector. Okay, here's the original connector here that would have theoretically been on the truck. All right, and I've got my lead connected to it here in a very janky sort of way. And then the other end, I needed a way to connect to this post, the negative post. Positive still connected like it always is. And so I went and got the old dead connector that was, it was actually over here. That's why I pointed the camera over there. And I got that, and I put an alligator clip with a deal and an alligator clip, and we can connect it here. So let's do that. Can we do it one-handed? Let's see if we can do it one-handed. We can't do it one-handed. Wait 1 minute. All right, and then immediately we're going to look at our meter and see what kind of amp draw we have. That's probably a lot. Now we know that alternator's not in that loop, so we do have something else going on here. That's going to slow down, I bet, to about 1.99 because I tested this theory before I put it there. So we're going to go play with the fuses. So we're going to need to get this over here on the windshield, so it's sitting on the windshield so you can see it from the inside of the truck. That's the plan. So that's what I'm going to work on right now while you don't watch, because I can't film and do this at the same time. Okay, we got the jankiest wiring system you've ever seen, but I've got it all sorted out. Yeah, that's a zip tie. All the way to the meter now being visible for me inside the and who the F put this here? That was me. Okay, but we can now see our meter, and we can see it's registering there some ridiculous 4.5 freaking amps of draw. So we're going to start pulling some fuses and see if we can find the circuit that's doing it. Being naughty. Very, very naughty. Let's figure it out. All right, here we go. Okay, here we are. All right, we've got 1.9. Can you see that? 1.9 on the meter. So we can pull a lot of fuses out of the fuse block. So I did that. It's pretty simple. You just go to the fuse block and you pull a fuse out and you go look at the meter and see if it's changed. It hadn't changed. And you do that this many billion times, however many. Oh, drop that. All right, so you do that all these times. Guess what? I did that on all of these. So all of these, they all check good. So the next thing to do was to find the rest of the auxiliary fuse packs, because there are fuses all over this vehicle. There's fuses under the steering column, there's fuses under the passenger side and on the driver's side. So I came over here and thought, oh good, I'll get to pull these mystery, because that's what they are, they're mystery fuses. Because if you don't have a rave book, you have no freaking idea what these are. So I have a rave, so I came over here to check on these. All right, so I'm pushing these in, make sure they're good and seated. They hadn't been seated very well. I don't know how they would possibly have worked themselves out, but they did. But I've got them pushed in and out, so we'll check them again. So we'll pull one at a time, and I'm not gonna, I'll save you the trouble. I'll look, pull it, and I'll look, and nothing changed. I'll press it back in. We'll do that through this series. Nothing changed. All right, nice and seated, very well done. All right, pull here, nothing changed. Oh, those are hard to come in and out. No, nothing changed. They look like traditional edge connectors inside there. It's not any kind of fancy plugs. Nothing changed. All right. Blue 15 hike. Nothing changed. All right. I don't know what these two are. I haven't a clue. I'm going to have to Google that, and it's not going to be fun. Oh, great. All right, let's pull that. Nothing changed. Well, we're running out of fuses to check here, kids. Don't push that in wrong. Let's get it in there right. Red 10. Boom! No way. Zeros. We found it. We in the colloquial sort of frame, because you were with me when I found it. Now the big mystery is, what the hell is it? And I honestly don't know. All right. I don't know what this is. But it's definitely shortened. I need to find out what these are and make myself a little diagram for them. But I've owned this vehicle since 2000 and I've never changed a single one of these. So it's a pretty solid system, but that is not good. So that's, technically that's good, but that's not good because now we found it, but now I have no earthly idea what it is. Rats. All right, let's turn off our Meteor. And I'm gonna cheat and I'm gonna tell you I've already been looking for it. So I cheated and I've already been looking for it. So I have various copies of the manual here. This one is all of those. And miscellaneous fuses under right seat, one red fuel pump, and one yellow EFI. The fuel pump is shorting? I don't know about that. I wonder about that.
Would you excuse me for just 1 second?
Oh boy, that's gonna be fun to figure out. Yeah, that's not gonna be fun to figure out. Huh. I gotta figure out where that goes. I'm gonna have to ask some questions. that comes up there. I'm gonna have to ask some questions online. It's good that we found it, because now I can pull it and I can hook my battery up and it not be draining all the time. But I've got to find out where that is messed up. Well, how about that? Okay. If that is indeed the miscellaneous fuses under the right seat, red is the fuel pump. I hate electrical problems. Now I've got to find where that wire loom goes, all the way from the back, all the way to the front, and walk it, which is going to be impossible because most of it's probably covered up by tape or plastics or whatever. Okay. How exciting. We figured it out. I'm excited about that. I'm just stumped on how to fix it right now. And I'm really annoyed that I had to look this up in here and it was really crappy. One place on the earth, there's no pictures of this on the internet. I looked. I was just save you the trouble. It's not out there. It's in this book only, and it's only in this version of the manual that I own. And it's the Fuses 1992 page in the 1991 edition of this book, revised in May of 2092. And Drew's going somewhere. I wonder where he's going. It's Saturday night. Football game's about to start. Okay, that's where I'm at. I hate electrical problems. I know I've said that 1,000 times probably in my lifetime, but I promise I do hate them. And I am not happy about having to walk that deal. Let's call it good. Let's say we found it and we're going to sort it out next. So now we've got to ask a lot of questions of smarter people than me, and we've got to find where that wire goes. Where does it go up here? Where does it go up here? Damn, who cut that off? That just poked me. Poker. I'm gonna cut that off. All right, let's call it good. Like and subscribe. Thank you for joining us this week. Once again, if you're a veteran, thank you for serving. I appreciate it. My family appreciates it. I come from a long line of military people. 2 of my cousins were in the military. 2 of my wife's cousins were in the Marine Corps. My dad was in the Navy. Lots of great uncles served in the air war over Europe. I have an uncle that served in the Navy. His son served in the Air Force. My cousin Victoria retired from the Army. I have been blessed by having great people around me that served our great country, and we are all better for it. Again, thank you, veterans, and again, happy birthday, Marines. 249 years. Next year's going to be a big one. Gonna have to tear the roof off of it. All right. I went to see The Evil German Dude, and I intended to film it, but we got busy, and before I knew it, we had the cables already made, and I hadn't even got the camera out, and so you didn't get to see it. But what you do get to see is his handiwork. So let's get the camera set up here so you can see the handiwork. Handiwork in progress. Let's just do it over here. All right, looking down here. Let me go get the cables. Hang on. All right, he pretty quickly talked me out of doing this. So that's right out. So yeah, so we'll save this for the Ford if it fails. But what he did talk me into was this industrial setup. So major crimping with a hydraulic crimper, the whole thing. So these are, again, once again, made to last, and I'm excited about them. So the last thing to do is get these all plugged back in and hooked up on the truck, and then we'll be all set. Talked with him a little bit about the relay. I'm not sure on that yet. We're gonna have to get the diagram out and take a look at it and see what could possibly be going wrong. If we had a parasitic draw on the fuel pump and that parasitic draw was on all the time, then or if there was a short, the pump would be running all the time. So that doesn't make any sense. There's something in that circuit though, since I pulled that fuse out and that draw went away. There's something in that circuit not quite right. So we need to look at all the components and spend a little bit more time doing some research. So that's basically it. Happy birthday to the Marines out there. This is the actual sign off on this video. Happy birthday to all the Marines out there, and I hope you have a great year on our way to our 250th birthday next year. That's all I got. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it, and I'll see you next week.